Two of Chris Watts' former cellmates have now contacted detectives regarding Nichol Kessinger's involvement in the tragic murders of Chris's pregnant wife Shanann and his two young daughters Bella and CeCe. Both Dylan Tallman and David Carter were incarcerated alongside of Chris Watts at Dodge Correctional Facility at different times. Their statements about what Chris has told them are eerily similar. First, David Carter contacted detectives providing the following statement regarding Chris Watts' mistress.
You say what her involvement was?
She killed the girls, and he killed Shanann.
She did all three of them.
No, he killed his wife, and she killed his daughters because they felt that since CeCe and Celeste, or Bella and CeCe was Chris's kids, that he would have a harder time to kill them. So that's why she was the one that killed the little girls, and he killed Shanann.
How did you say how she killed him?
Yeah, she smothered them, and he strangled Shanann.
How long ago was this when he told you this?
I'm sorry?
How long ago was this when he told you this?
Well, I just got out in February, and I got to Dodge this last time in September. And it was that time that he told me that he was in contact with her and told me the roles that she played, and that she killed the girls and he killed Shanann, and that he was protecting her so she wouldn't go to prison.
Okay.
In Dylan Tallman's recently published books, he provides new insight into the relationship between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger and her actions regarding the murders. According to Dylan, Nichol gave Chris an ultimatum on the night of the murders. "It's your family or me," she said. Dylan details Chris's description of what happened the morning of August 13th, 2018, saying that Chris had plans to meet Nichol before work that morning. He quotes Chris as saying, "So I met up with her at the place we were supposed to rendezvous on the way to work. Nichol was calm about the whole situation. She told me to just go to work like I was supposed to, and she asked me about the girls. We talked it over for a while and we decided that we could make it look like they went missing." Dylan then asks Chris if she helped him, and Chris says yes. This information aligns with the phone records showing that Nichol's phone pinged a tower near the Watts family home that morning. The following audio features the segment of Nichol Kessinger's August 17th police interview, where she is asked about the phone calls between her and Chris Watts on August 13th and 14th, less than 24 hours after he murdered his entire family. As detectives question her about her relationship with Chris Watts and the timeline of events leading up to the murders, Nichol's responses are evasive and nonsensical. She frequently changes the subject, leaving many questions unanswered. Despite her perplexing behavior, the detectives seem to accept her answers without further probing. This has fueled further speculation about Nichol Kessinger's potential role in the murders. How could these answers possibly satisfy the detectives?
On Monday night, so a couple things. I told you he had texted me, and then at the end of the night, he had called, or I had called. I think he called me, but either way, we were on the phone with each other. And at some point when we were on the phone, he was like, "Do you want to FaceTime?" And I remember I was laying in bed, and I was just like, you know what? Okay, let me turn on the light. And I remember I turned on the light, and we FaceTimed. And when we FaceTimed, he didn't really say much. It was almost kind of awkward. I don't even know why I didn't think of this earlier, but it was very short too. It was super brief. And I remember
what's short?
What?
What is short? Like a couple of minutes or 30 minutes?
Oh no, I bet it was only probably less than 5 minutes. I think it was only a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I think we were talking a little bit, but he was laying down on a mattress that didn't have any sheets on it. And I was like, okay. So I was thinking well, maybe he's in bed. I don't know what's up. But I remember asking him where's your sheets, And he's like, oh, I washed them. And then this is the part I don't remember if this sentence right here came in this FaceTime conversation or if it came in a phone conversation prior to the FaceTime conversation, but regardless, this next sentence came on Monday night, and I'm so sorry that I cannot always remember chronological every little detail.
That's okay, it's understandable.
There's so much. But I remember he was saying that he was cleaning the house to try to keep busy, to take his mind off of things. And this was on the phone. I didn't honestly think that much about it originally because that man is always cleaning. Like, he's a very, very, like, organized, meticulous, clean individual. Like, he's the type of guy that will, like, vacuum his whole house one week, and if there's rooms that don't get used, he'd vacuum again the next week just because it's, like, part of his routine.
Okay.
So the fact that he's, like, cleaning to kill time and he take his mind off things did not seem like a super red flag to me. So anyways, so that didn't seem at all like the norm for me, but something that just kind of like dawned on me last night as he made the comment directly after that. He said, I had to wash the kids' sheets. He was like, they smelled. And I was thinking about that last night, and I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. That's like the cleanest house I've ever seen. And I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. Why would his kids' sheets smell bad?
And you think this was Monday night? What time do you think it was Monday night?
Oh God, I don't even know. I almost wish you guys would show me my phone records.
So I'm gonna read off your phone calls for Monday and Tuesday, starting.
No, it's on Monday.
Okay,
just
so
tell me on Monday night.
Monday night, you guys had. We talked about a phone call yesterday, but you guys had a phone call Monday night. It looks like he called you. It was 48 minutes and 57 seconds. It was at 9:48 p.m. that he called you. So that would take us to about 10:35. And then there's another call on Monday. It's for 51 minutes and 25 seconds, it looks like. I'm not sure, looking at this, who called who, but it looks like you called him. And that was at 11:09 p.m. That lasted 51 minutes. So that takes us to midnight. And then there's another phone call where he calls you. So we're now into midnight, Tuesday morning. It's a 30-minute phone call that lasts until 12:38 a.m. And then after 12:38 a.m., there's a 2-minute and 44-second phone call that that starts at 1:12 a.m. It's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So I would almost, this is just me, but I would go get my text messages with him from that night, and I would sync them up to that time frame because there was texting in between that. So I think what happened is he called me on that first call, and then there's that gap between the first call and the second call. In that gap, that was when we FaceTimed for a few minutes, and that was when I got up out of bed because I was just having trouble sleeping, and I went and did laundry. That's what I did. I went I just put some clothes in the dryer, and then I think I called him back, and then we continued to talk. So that little gap right there between those two big phone calls at the very beginning of the night, I mean, not the very beginning of the night, but the big ones at the first two. So in between that gap, there's a quick FaceTime. So do you think that 2 minute and 44 second is the FaceTime?
The one at the very end?
Yeah. Well, so
I don't even think the FaceTime's on there.
Okay,
because the FaceTime occurred in between those two big phone calls.
Okay.
Because it was one big phone call, and then there's a FaceTime, and in the FaceTime's short, it's only a few minutes, and then there's probably just a few more minutes.
There's a few more calls on Tuesday. So 1:12 is the 2 minute and 44 second call. That lasts till approximately 1:14, and then there's a long gap until 1:50. So another 45 or 35 minutes, and then there's a 7-minute phone call. That phone call lasts till 1:58 a.m. and then there's a 10-second phone call at 2:07 a.m. followed by I think he calls you and maybe leaves a voicemail or something, or you don't pick up. So there's a 10-second call, and then directly after that there's a 10-minute and 24-second phone call.
Okay, so I'm talking about the two at the very beginning of
the two long
really
ones.
Long ones.
And is that when he's talking about the kids'
yes,
sheets?
with the sheet. Okay, Yes. I will help you line this up. Like, I almost want to just come in there and, like, drop and drag all of my texts to where they were going.
And you know what? We may meet and do that here coming early next week.
Nichol was asked several times what she and Chris discussed during their 3-hour-long phone call, yet she never answers the question. She would later provide a detailed timeline of events about conversations with Chris that occurred weeks and months before the murders, yet she can't seem to remember what they discussed only 3 days prior to this interview. While Nichol was on the phone with Chris at 2 a.m. on August 14th, Chris received a call from the Frederick Police Department. He ends the phone call with Nichol and calls the detective back using his work cell phone. Nichol calls his personal phone back at the same time and remains on the phone so she can listen in on Chris's discussion with the detective. What was she so concerned about? During her first interview with detectives on August 15th, she states that she wasn't suspicious of Chris at all, and that she simply thought that Shanann took the girls and left to cool off. She also said that she told Chris to let Shanann go, she'll be back. Yet in her second police interview, she states that she couldn't sleep and was freaking out, so she kept calling Chris on the 14th so that he could calm her down and reassure her. Why would she be freaking out? If she really thought that Chris's wife and kids were missing, shouldn't Chris be the one who was needing reassurance?
Yeah, well, all those phone calls at the very end of the night, that was me freaking out. Like, if you look at my texts, a lot of that was like, I can't sleep, I'm really scared, where's your family? That was like me freaking out and him calling to like try to reassure me, or me calling him like, please talk to me, I'm super scared, where's your family? Like, those little ones at the very end of the night are me not being able to sleep and trying to get him to like talk to me about like, I guess making sure everything was okay. So those like real late ones, and that's why they're all kind of like sporadic, because I'd be up for like an hour and then I'd fall asleep for like 15 minutes and then I would like wake up and start stressing again and try to call him back. Like, so that's why there are all these like little sporadic ones throughout the end of the night. But those two big ones.
So yesterday we talked about Tuesday was mainly text messages regarding your confrontation about his wife being pregnant.
We know that Nichol knew that Chris was married and expecting a new baby because her search history shows that she frequently visited Shanann's public Facebook profile, where she would have seen Shanann's pregnancy announcement, along with numerous other photos and videos featuring Chris with his family. In Nichol's first interview, she showed no concern for Shanann or the girls, and even refused to say Shanann's name. Yet in the second interview, she does a complete 180, and she sheds what many have called crocodile tears.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything, and I just... Oh, those little girls. They're so little. They're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we cannot provide that.
Okay. It's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And, you know, on our end, we didn't...
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? Why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to do that to somebody who's, like, that big.
The role that Nichol Kessinger played in this horrific crime remains the subject of intense debate. Nichol has been the focus of countless theories surrounding this case, leaving the public shrouded in uncertainty. While Chris Watts has been sentenced to life in prison where he belongs, Nichol's whereabouts are unknown. The tragic and senseless murders of Shanann, Bella, CeCe, and baby Nico will forever be etched in our memories. We can only hope for justice to be served in this heartbreaking, unfathomable crime.
Guess what, girls? Mommy has a baby in her belly. Are you guys excited? Yes. Yes? Are you really excited? Oh my goodness. Come give me hugs. Oh. I love you, girl.
I got the baby a hug.
You want to give the baby a hug? I love you, Bella. You're so sweet. Give me a kiss.
Mommy.